So recently there's been some drama around the FIFAe World Cup where notable nations like Denmark, Spain, and Canada have said that they are not participating, or at least it's been announced that they're probably not participating. It turns out that since this, Greg has announced that the USA, the literal USA, have announced that to him that they're also not participating in the FIFA World Cup. So wow, what a drastic change! What a big change for the worse, huh? For all of them, by someone who's fairly notable. Anyways, let's look at kind of the details though of Spain not entering, who did enter last year with CR Atomik and Stizzy, and made top 8, not quite top 4, but they did make top 8, so a very notable team. They should be definitely, without a doubt, in the FIFA World Cup. But they're not participating this time. So let's look at this tweet first from Atomik, who says, didn't know about this until now, and also with the treatment/deal we had last year, it was obvious we weren't going to play in it. The tournament is amazing, by the way, so nothing to do with them, but we will enjoy it watching from home. So there you go, that's some detail there from Atomik, saying he didn't know anything about this, which seems to be a common theme around the FIFA World Cup, is that nobody knows about anything until the last second. And then Stizzy really gave in a lot of information here, saying, I want you to know that none of CR Atomik and myself, Stizzy, took a single euro from the FIFA tournament. So they didn't take a dime from this tournament, because Spain wanted them to make top 4 to take prize pool, and even then they would have only taken 50% of the prize pool. So yeah, Spain ended up taking the whole 15,000 prize pool that they earned from the tournament. They took it all for themselves. So some free money, free cash, didn't have to pay anything to anyone. And then they didn't even pay the flights for them, but they did at least give them the shirts. So that's what they got. You know, if you play for Spain at FIFA World Cup, at least you get some shirts, I guess. But yeah, after that, Stizzy says he's not that surprised that they they ended up declining the invite, although they did end up making free money last time without paying a dime to their players. So yeah, this absolutely insane for Spain. The fact they did this to their players is just, it's unheard of. It's absolutely unacceptable. I mean, Spain as well, their football association who handled the situation, by the way, it wasn't the country necessarily of Spain, it was specifically the football or the FIFA association for Spain. In Spain, they've won the World Cup in 2010. This is a very well-established football association who have done really, really well in the past in, you know, the Euros and European or world competitions, right? They're a very notable nation. So for them to do this, it's kind of just unacceptable, really. So I feel very sorry for Stizzy and his teammates that this happened to them. You know, really, really, really sucks. But it seems like in response to this, there's been a new event announced by the same people that run EWC, which is the Esports Nations Cup, which is essentially the same thing. But yeah, I think there's a difference in nuance here a little bit. Let's see here for for the FIFA World Cup rather. It says here 16 FIFA association members will nominate their rosters. But for the Esports Nations Cup, it says, where does it say here? Participants representing their country directly instead of clubs, which makes me think that because of the lack of, mention of FIFA, associations or football associations, that there will essentially be like a qualifier that the tournament itself runs. A Spain qualifier that the tournament itself runs, and whoever wins that just represents their country, right? Or at least not really relying on these FIFA associations, which will result in a lot less corruption, more likely than not, and we can have a lot more proper events where we're not limited by football associations having their say and declining invites like Canada does, or has done for the last 2 years. So should be a lot better, and I believe this event is set to run every 2 years, starting up in 2026. We don't know whether the FIFA World Cup is going to be running alongside it, because they're not, they're not held by the same people, because this one's done by FIFA and the Saudi Esports Federation, whereas EWC is done by the EWC Foundation. Exactly who's running the EWC Foundation and Saudi Esports Federation, I don't know, because maybe there's some overlap there. I have no idea. But FIFA is not involved with the Esports Nations Cup. That's the big deal here. So it seems like we do have a long-term solution for the FIFA World Cup, being rather problematic. Maybe not their own fault. They couldn't have known necessarily that the football associations would have been so tough to deal with as they have been. But yeah, that's just been the case, and that situation here with Stizzy is just absolutely unacceptable, and it's resulting in teams, playing in the FIFA World Cup that don't necessarily deserve it, or people just don't want to see, right? You look at even last year, we had Turkey especially, who are just not that good. You have one okay player in Loreley, but even then, that's a stretch. And the other two, I don't even have to talk about them. And then for Portugal, even Portugal was a stretch. It's fine to have them, but even that was a stretch. So, and then Spain as well for the next one, not even being there. It seems like it's getting worse over the years. So yeah, definitely a good thing, I think, that we're getting this Esports Nations Cup. Sounds really exciting, at least. But yeah, that's been the whole drama about Stizzy and stuff and the FIFA World Cup. Let me know your thoughts on the whole situation. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you later.